Yo, we back. We got something crazy this time. They talking about the NBA might be shutting down. Let's see what they saying.
Angel Reese was insane last year when she said, yeah, CBA's coming up. We deserve more. Because I'm hearing if y'all don't give us what we want.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't like. Okay, it don't make sense for them to get more because yeah, they be hooping, but they ain't really balling. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really pulling in because the NBA, same as the WNBA, it's all about revenue. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, layups and threes. That's just not enough.
Sitting out. What are you, crazy? Sit out and crush all the momentum from Caitlin Clark? Well, guess what? Just this week, W players voted yes on a strike. Not on strike yet, but it's officially on the table. Oh, and this was 98% yes. You never see that kind of agreement from players, all on the same page. But if this happens, it could be the end of the WNBA.
Bro, for all of them to come together about that though, that is kind of crazy. You can't get niggas to like come together on nothing. So like, you know.
We know it. Because other leagues are popping up saying, hey, you don't like the W? Come play here. We'll pay you more. So Unrivaled, Project B, these leagues have already signed dozens of the top WNBA players to say, forget the old league, we tried and it failed. But how did this happen? Right when things are going good, it could die? Well, I'll tell you why it happened.
How come the other league can offer them a tremendous amount of money, but the WNBA can't? Like, how are other leagues getting funded if the biggest, you know what I'm saying, the biggest of them all is not doing good at all?
It's always money. Caitlin Clark comes into the W, single-handedly lifts the league. For example, the average W game not involving Caitlin got 390.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't heard much about Caitlin Clark lately. I don't know if she doing bad or, you know what I'm saying, she playing average, but I ain't heard nothing about her.
1,000 viewers, but the average Caitlin Clark game, 1.4 million. That is over a
That bitch could pull in some, you know what I'm saying? She got the niggas sitting in seats.
100% increase for one player, but it affected the whole league. Like, we all know interest in the W as a whole is up. We experienced it. Look at the average finals ratings, around 600K before Caitlin Clark, but her rookie year, 1.6 million viewers, and she wasn't even involved. And right then, a new media...
Y'all, like, I ain't gonna lie. Caitlin definitely needs some compensation for what she been doing, but hey, go upstairs. It's my dog. But yeah, she definitely needs some to be paid for what she be doing. But everybody else, man, I don't know. Y'all wasn't pulling in no draws.
Deal was a perfect timing. They would get to cash in on this Caitlin Clark popularity. So the W signed a $2.2 billion deal to show their game starting in 2026. They also expanded to add 6 teams, each paying up to $250 million to get in. So why not share the wealth? Players all mad wearing "pay us what you owe us" shirts at All-Star, but the owners,
like these niggas getting 2.2 billion. These niggas getting paid. And they still sitting with the same checks. I'd be mad too.
No, we floated this league for decades before Caitlin Clark. And now you want to share the money? How about sharing all the debt all those years before? Oh no, you didn't want to do that. But now you want the money. But this is the time of year that NBA players start to kind of slow down.
Why would they share debt? Like, why would I want to go negative? Obviously, I want the money. I don't know. That ain't make sense.
New Year's,
I might
right before the All-Star break. But my favorite way to make every game feel like the NBA Finals is get some picks in on Prize Picks.
Oh, this is an ad. Yeah, we're gonna skip that shit. We don't get paid for them.
Hoops, play 5, get $50 in lineups instantly. In fact, the NBA has kept the W afloat, costing about $10 million per year. But Clark's rookie year, the W lost more money than ever at $50 million. How is that possible? Because players wanted more, like private flights to games. So despite making more money than ever, they spent more money too. But at the same time, I can't understand where players are coming from. First off, private planes? Yeah. You can't have Caitlin Clark on American Airlines with me. Well, me, yes, but some of you guys I'm not too sure about. It would be like in the NBA, a random fan being like, hey, Luka, can I get the aisle seat? Sorry, I have to pee a lot. It doesn't work.
That definitely would be annoying. Imagine you just trying to ride, you know what I'm saying, catch your little flight, and then you got to go in the community, you know what I'm saying, with all these fans and shit. It's basically like you stuck in a ride with them, you know what I'm saying? Niggas be asking dumbass questions and shit. You know what I'm saying?
The salary last year, the WNBA Supermax was $250K, average salary $120K, and the minimum just $66,000. But if they go on strike, those numbers go to zero. So they start negotiations last July. The league sent a proposal to the players, and we don't know what it said, but we do know the reaction. One player said, "Yeah, we got a proposal from the league," which was honestly a slap in the face. Then MVP runner-up Nafisa Collier threw a grenade into negotiations. She claimed that the W commissioner said something unforgivable.
I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything.
That's crazy work. I ain't gonna lie. Wherever Caitlyn glow, that money go follow. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they really mean that.
What?
And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their
But
knees.
Caitlyn only getting 78K, and she bringing in like, I gotta say millions. It gotta be millions. You know what I'm saying? They signed a $2.2 billion contract. She pulling in all this money and not even touching 100K. She ain't even got 6 figures. She making a little bit more than what I'm making. You know what I'm saying? I work at the post office.
They're lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them.
What? I mean, it is one thing to negotiate with someone that you disagree with, but to negotiate with someone you hate is 100 times more difficult. But now, some people say this cannot be fixed because what the players really want here is revenue share, which is exactly what NBA players have. See, those players split all basketball-related income with the owners 50-50, which means if the league does better financially, the players do better financially. And the W players see this awesome trajectory of their league and they want to ride that wave, but it's not all they want. They also want private flights for every team all year, professionalism standards across the league. For example, they don't want to practice at like a community rec center, which I thought was BS. Till I saw this Connecticut Sun thing where they got kicked off their own court for a 2-year-old's birthday party.
Oh, I see. I ain't gonna lie. Oh my God. I was finna be like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a community thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that serious. But for them to be kicked, these are WNBA players to be kicked off their court for a little kid's birthday party. The little nigga not even about to hoop. You know what I'm saying? He just out there to eat some cake. That's crazy work.
Seriously, and it was during the playoffs. That actually happened. They
During
also
the
want
playoffs.
expanded rosters and benefits, but the owners say no. Yes, we'll give you more money, but not rev share like the NBA. In fact, they offered increases from a max of $250K to $1.3 million, average salary from $120K to $530K, and minimum from $66K to $250,000 throughout the league, which sounds good.
Yeah, that's not a bad proposal. You know what I'm saying? I gotta see like what they bring it in. They showing it obviously, but it's like it's not right here and
But
here. You know?
players say no. In fact, we hate that so much, we're going on strike if you don't give us NBA-style rev share. Because we see that this league's going to keep growing.
But like the league gonna grow, but it's like y'all not doing. I mean, y'all doing a lot, but y'all playing like layups. You know what I'm saying? Mid ranges. There's nothing flashy about y'all game for real, for real, for real. And like if y'all had like a Kyrie Irving-esque player out there, you know what I'm saying, crossing bitches up, and you know what I'm saying, like it'd be different. But it's like y'all all just
to stick us down here at this fixed money. And we don't care that you lost money on the WNBA all those years. That was your decision. You wanted to start a WNBA league, okay? That's on you. And now we're here, so we want to cut. And even Caitlin Clark said, this is the biggest moment the WNBA has ever seen, so we are going to fight for everything we deserve. She also said, at the same time, we do need to play basketball, because Caitlin knows a strike could kill the whole thing. Just look at baseball in 1994. MLB was America's #1 sport. They go on strike in 94, got passed up by the NFL and NBA, and have never come back. And that was the #1 sport. What do you think happens with the WNBA? All this momentum would be crushed.
I wonder what happens if the NBA was to do something like that. The NBA players, they get paid pretty good, so I don't ever see it happening. But like, imagine if they did go on strike. That's such a big platform. You wouldn't even know like Like I feel like they would bend towards the will of the players because it's like you got so much over there, and they can go different places. You got G League and stuff like that.
Probably
Ain't gonna be the same money, obviously, but they still can get paid for ball.
come back. But this guy, David Sampson, perfectly
Who was
outrushed
that?
and probably never come back. But this guy, David Sampson, perfectly outlines
Yeah,
what happens next. See, he ran MLB teams for 20 years, so he knows all about negotiations. He was asked, what happens if the players don't budge and they don't move on their demands?
Maybe the end of the WNBA. The players will move. The biggest thing they did wrong, they said this is their moment. And so they've put a lot of pressure on themselves. They put themselves in a corner where they feel like they have to get it or it's like a major loss. And so if you had any ability to invest.
that's major loss. I forgot what I was about to say.
You wanted to start a league to compete with the WNBA, this is the time. That could be the end of the WNBA.
Oh, and it turns out there are several women's leagues who see this coming. A 3-on-3 league called Unrivaled, a 5-on-5 called Project B, have all signed dozens of the top WNBA players already. And these leagues are promising them big paydays and rev share to the players. But that would obviously be a huge step back, because those leagues don't have the momentum or the popularity of the WNBA. And it would split up all the players. Like, can you imagine if the NBA
Was that
felt,
AI?
yeah, we'd all still watch the players, but if
They
all
had Caitlyn with the chips.
were split among two leagues, it would suck. So as crazy as it sounded, we may actually see these players go on strike, and the W might take a hit it cannot come back from. But there is plenty of...
I want to see it happen because, like, what happens after they all gone? Like, the WNBA is disbanded and stuff like that. It's just like, there's no more ball? Or is it like, they just never heard of again?
going on in the NBA right now as well. If you liked sort of the play-by-play story of this video, what is going on with Chris Paul? Because we finally learned exactly what happened between him and the Clippers, and the story there on...
Oh, we might watch that next, man. But let's go cap it off here. Catch y'all boys on the next one.